back to the Midnight Who Show, and today I'm going to review the last part of the Ravenous Saga, and it is a very interesting box set. Of course, it has 4 stories: Whisper, Planet of Dust, and The Day of the Master. Whisper, which is definitely a very good story for October. There's definitely some very good kind of little spooky elements to it, which I kind of really enjoyed. I also really like the elements where kind of Liv doesn't really trust, the 11. And I really like that kind of scene there, because she's the only one who's not, to everyone else, is not giving him really a chance. Of course, because of past things that the 11 has done, and now he's joining them on this adventure, because of course the Ravenous are out to get them no matter what. Planet the Doctor has arrived from, some things are not going quite right, and they soon discover it. And it's definitely a very interesting concept of this kind of planet that's kind of living. It's a living planet, which I found was very interesting. And overall, this was a pretty decent story. I definitely say it's not probably the strongest opening to a box set, but it is a pretty decent story nonetheless. Planet of Dust. We, of course, see one master who's kind of being this provider to this very parched kind of world, and the 11 wants to travel there. Now, this episode, we kind of start seeing that the 11's true motives, and we get to see very setup for that final episode of this box set. This was a pretty decent story. I definitely say it was a very good setup, of course. The Tomb of Artron, which is a very kind of interesting concept, and it definitely leads into the next story, which is, of course, The Day of the Master. But overall, Planet of Dust I thought was a pretty decent story. It definitely does a really good job at setting things up, and you also get to see them find out, well, the 11 always hides something from them, and they maybe should have listened to Liv a bit. So with this last story in this box set, I'm not going to talk too much about it because, of course, it is the conclusion. It's 2 parts, and there's a lot of stuff in here that is very spoilerish, and I don't want to take away from anyone who wants to listen to this box set their enjoyment for this story. But what I can say, I really enjoyed it as a conclusion to the Ravenous Saga. Definitely wrapped everything up, but I think the highlight of, course, the Masters. The War Master, you get Missy, and the Master Bruce, which has some really good scenes with the 8th Doctor, and it was so cool hearing Eric Roberts back at it, because we see him earlier with the River Song box set, but now he's battling the Doctor one more time, and I really liked how they paired him up with the 8th Doctor, and those were probably some of my favorite scenes in this entire box set. The companions separated with other versions of the Master, which I really enjoyed. But this story also, besides being a satisfying conclusion to the Ravenous Saga, you also get a conclusion to the story of the 11, which I thought was really good. But yeah, overall, this was a pretty decent 2-parter. There's a lot of surprises in there, but I definitely enjoyed it. So overall, Ravenous 4 is a really good box set. It definitely does a really good job at, bringing the Ravenous Saga to an end, and I can't wait to see where the 8th Doctor adventures head to next. Of course, if you enjoyed this box set, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and of course, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.